Michael Drescher and I'm the Interior Design Director of DCO Architecture. And I guess I want to take this opportunity to just give you sort of insight, I guess, from our practice and myself of the design trends coming into 2021. Our houses have always been something that we considered, I guess, beautiful. But I think now the pandemic has really made us appreciate them in a different light, and they've become much more important to us of how we live and how we want to live in the future. Probably the most obvious one from that is working from home. So we've really looked at how studies are happening in houses, and probably the most important thing of that is access to light, the type of furniture in our studies, the materiality, the warmth. We're looking at how we lay our artwork, and it has to be practical. You have to be able to work from there, sit on Zooms all day, but you also has to be a beautiful space where you can relax. The space needs to be adaptable. It might be a study one day, it might be a music room the next day, it might be a nursery the next day. Design trend two, I guess colour. When you look at colour charts for the year, they're always changing. But I think, we all went on walks last year. And part of that, I think, was really connecting to nature, to landscape, to parks. And I think that we really appreciated what greenery means in your home. So we've been using greenery inside for a long time, and I always promote people to bring plants inside. But I think now what that has merged into is the actual colours and the actual paints and the products that we're using in our house is really connecting back to that earth colours. So deep reds, rust colours, greens, deep greens, moss greens. That creates, I guess, a sense of warmth within our environment, within our home. So at the start of 2020, we saw bushfires, and I think sustainability in design we've been looking at for years and years, but I think the bushfires really reminded us of how fragile our world is, and it really made us question where things are coming from, what things are made out of. And that goes from everything that's put into our home, but it also goes to furniture, where the coffee table's made, where your sofa's made. And if you look around, not only in Australia, but in Melbourne, there's fantastic local designers who can create items from recycled product made locally and brought into your home. And I think it's that layering of local products, local source materials, which we know is ethically better for our world. And we can sort of be rest assured and comfortable in our homes that we're all doing something that's going to benefit not only ourselves, but also the world. So that was a little bit of insight into, I guess, how I see the world of interior design going and how DKO sees it into 2021. We all went through something pretty big last year, but we think it's going to influence an important design movement this year.
In 2019, the Australian Renewable Energy Agency provided funding to Climate Kick Australia to undertake a 3-year study into the commercial scale use of geothermal ground source heat pumps at a housing estate which is being developed by Fraser's property in Western Sydney called Fairwater. The study sought to establish the industry-wide adoption of using geothermal ground source heat pumps for residential heating and cooling in greenfield developments. Now, in its final year, the report is returning promising findings. We'll unpack those findings with one of the pioneers of Australia's burgeoning geothermal industry, Mark Langdon of 7Gen. Thanks for joining us today, Mark.
It's great to be here.
So Climate Kick's interim report compared Fairwater Homes' energy profile and consumption to that of a similar sized development in Western Sydney. What were the findings?
The study itself is a 3-year study. We're 2 years into that, so there's still over 12 months worth of data to collect. But the key findings have been very positive in reflection of the use of the geothermal across the Fairwater estate. Key things have been that there's a very high level of satisfaction for the homeowners. In fact, it's around 80%. The second thing is that it is an energy saving device.
The network benefits of the system are quite significant. Can we delve a little deeper?
When we first started the discussions with Fraser's, it was back in 2013, we always were of the view that the benefits for using geothermal at such a broad scale would be far greater than just at the individual home. One of the key issues with air conditioning is that it has a real impact on peak energy loads, and what that means is that the network has to have sufficient capacity within the grid to be able to service those peak times. And because the geothermal system significantly reduces that peak energy demand, it has a knock-on effect or a flow-through effect of reducing the amount of infrastructure that's required downstream to be able to satisfy those peak periods.
What were some of the other benefits noted in the report?
Anything that is an energy-saving appliance, the more you use it, the greater benefit that you get. So when we look at it at a residential level, there's obviously those benefits that accrue, and we've spoken about how they accrue to the broader network. When we look at it at a commercial level, those benefits accrue to those operators very similar. And quite often what we see with a lot of the schoolwork that we do is that through putting the geothermal system in, we can actually offset a lot of the infrastructure costs that are associated with air conditioning entire campuses that previously weren't done so.
Thanks for joining us today, Mark. We look forward to the final release of the report and seeing what positive changes it brings to the industry.
It's great to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity to tell this story. Thank you.
We moved over from New Zealand 2 years ago. About 6 months ago, we found ourselves in a position where we could, make that step into buying a home. Having a pre-built home that we could just move in once settlement was done, then that was our goal. Steve went over the details and the features that every house that we looked at had, and so from there we were able to get the ball rolling. You experience the full spectrum of emotion when purchasing a house, but every interaction that we had was seamless. From meeting Steve and getting the buggy ride around Echo Ripley. What I'd recommend to new homeowners or people that are purchasing their homes is stress less. Our plan is to have a family here and to raise some kids in the area, and we feel like this place has everything. Overall, the experience was great, and for anyone that's looking to build or purchase a home, I recommend Shavita for sure.
Hi, Evan Cathcart here from Blue Earth Group, and we're incredibly excited about our upcoming project, Anthem Essendon. The project is perfectly located in Essendon, surrounded by some of Melbourne's best schools. We've got a median house price in Essendon of 1.4 million, beautiful homes. There's fantastic shopping within the area and fantastic lifestyle with a great selection of restaurants and bars and cafes. Essendon's the most aspirational suburb in the inner northwest of Melbourne. Now, in terms of our development, we've got an incredible site. We've got 3 street frontages. It's very much a low-rise development of only 6 stories, and it comprises 3 individual buildings with beautiful architecture by CHT. We've also got an incredible range of residence amenities within the development. Starting from a health and wellness perspective, we've got an amazing gym that's going to be fitted out by Techno Gym. and a fantastic wellness centre as well. Amazing offering from a lifestyle perspective as well. So residents' private dining rooms, probably the best we've seen. Fantastic games rooms and cinemas as well. And a whole range of fantastic services within the development also. So one of the best projects we will have seen in the market, and the best thing about it is it's at an amazing price point. So we've got amazing product averaging 8,200 per square metre. We know that the competition in the market is 9 to 10,500 per square metre in Essendon. So we're offering all this amazing amenity at outstanding price points. So our 1 bedrooms are priced in the low to mid 400s. Our 2 bedrooms priced in the low 500s and up from there. We've got really good size product as well. So some of the larger 2 bedrooms around 80 square metres are circa 600K. And then an amazing selection of 3 bedroom apartments as well. In terms of the reasons to buy in Essendon, an amazing suburb, aspirationally within the area. We've got a real influx of young people moving into town as well, people aged between 20 and 39, according to the last census, which is obviously fantastic for demand for apartment living. And then in terms of the project, offering the most amazing range of residence amenity, fantastic services, beautiful architecture, beautiful interiors at price points that we will never really see in the market again. It's going to be an amazing project. We've got a fantastic display suite that's currently under construction with completion projected for early to mid-May. And we're expecting that once we open the project up to the market that it will be very, very well received. So please contact either myself or Doug Middleton for either a briefing now over Zoom or to tee up a display suite viewing upon completion of the display suite in May.
I think the really important thing for anyone contemplating home building is you start off with a dream to build a new home, but then you've got to trust someone to deliver it. And you know, my name's on the door, and I think that's a really strong accountability piece. But also too, people these days, and more so now than ever, transparency of an operation, honesty and integrity. You know, one of our core values is the word authentic or genuine, and that's what drives us. We've learned a great deal over the last 30 years. One of them is the cycle of the industry. It goes up and down, and you know, you've got to be strong financially, but also too, even in terms of the materials that we use, the way we go about resourcing the various businesses in the group, all of those things are really vital to deliver the outcome on time, on budget, and at the right quality for our customers. When you've been building for as long as we have, you know, we've seen the cycles, the ups and downs of the industry, and it's really important too that even in terms of our apprenticeship program, we've trained over 1,000 new tradespeople since 2004. So we've got the resources to deliver, and that's really important for a customer to know that they're making a choice that's backed up by a business that has got the ability to deliver for them. The exciting thing for the ABN Group is we know where we're going for the next 10 or 15 years, and we've already started planning for that. We operate in Western Australia and Victoria. We have zero external debt, and that gives us a great position of strength to know where we're going for the future. And that is to be a large private group of companies structured with an external board with non-exec directors involved as well. And I think that's really important for a customer who's buying a home and building a home with one of the companies in the ABN Group, because you know, they know where we are today and they're really confident about where we are in the future. And that's important around things like warranties and all of the things that are important to a customer after the home is completed, to know who stands by that home. At the end of the day, that's me.
Airwell set a new benchmark for luxury apartment living in the hills and is the most high-end of 3 signature buildings at the Orchards. Air is a luxurious and boutique stage situated at the highest point of our estate, overlooking the greens of Castle Hill Country Club. The Orchards is a unique master plan community located just 500 metres from the new Norwest Metro train station.
My name's Ben Pomeroy, I'm the principal here at Rothley Lamond Architects in Sydney. As part of the master plan here at the Orchards, there's a thematic based around connection to nature and open spaces. Here, in the case of air, our initial design concept actually came from a pair of pebbles, or koishi, as it is in Japanese. The softened, swept corners of the building that you see, and then the tension between those two pebbles and how nature can stitch it together.
So welcome to the air display, Ben, which we've recently finished.
Great to see.
It's really exciting. As you'll see when we come in here, the intention was to create an actual space where purchasers and prospective residents can experience what the apartments look and feel and finishes are actually like. Tell us some of the innovations and inspirations that got us to this amazing space that we're sitting in.
One of the things that we took as part of our design ethos from day one was how to tie the interiors and the exteriors of the building together. So the stone bench tops are trying to evoke that masonry exterior of the building, down to even the fluted finishes on the kitchen island bench here. These are all evoking the strike pebble design that you can see on the outside balustrades of the building. So I think what we're always trying to do is tie the two together so it's seamless, almost like it's its own bespoke piece of joinery, the building and the interiors itself. What really attracted us to working with Sekisui House, in particular on the Orchards, was their approach to communal spaces. So in the case of the Orchards, we've got significant parklands that will be available for all the residents. We've got an amazing ground floor communal amenity that allows for residents to have a space to recreate that's not just within their apartment. But what's really rare, in addition to this, there's another space that's on the rooftop, and that's the more active recreation space. So we've got an amazing infinity edge pool, poolside cabana and outside spaces. And I think that's something that's truly unique. Sekisui House, day one, is always that focus on the quality. And potential buyers will find that when they visit a display suite. There's no skimping on materials everywhere. It's about kind of celebrating the spaces that we've created, from the one-bedroom apartments, which have the lakeside views, to some amazing four-bedroom penthouse apartments that are on the upper levels overlooking the golf course. We think there's a layout there for each and every different type of person.
We're really excited to be launching AIR, which is one of the Hill's most premium buildings adjoining the golf course. There's only 57 apartments, so there's only going to be a few very lucky people that are going to have the opportunity to live in this premium building.
At Sekisui House, we're always striving for better. Established in 1960, we are proud to be one of the world's most respected community developers and home builders. With over 2 million homes built, an array of awards for innovation, quality and sustainability, and a focus on improving our environment, we are committed to making a positive impact in the Australian market.
Hi， 欢迎来到悉尼的硅谷 Norwest 商业中心。这里有超过400家企业，25000个雇员 ，Woolworths 超市总部、Amy 保险公司、HWL 律师行总部都在这里。澳元集团荣誉出品的 Edgeblack 项目是这里唯一一个在 Norwest 商业中心朝北看湖的项目，现已全部完工。坐落于 Norwest 商业中心的心脏地带，下楼2分钟即可到达 Coles 超市、餐饮中心、银行、邮局等生活所需。过一条马路便是新建的 Norwest Metro Station， 这里的快车13分钟到 Chatswood，30分钟即可到达悉尼市中心。Edgeblack 是一个非常少见的大型综合社区，底楼的商业中心由小吃街、精品餐厅及一些便民商业组成，3层楼的办公室大多都带有朝北的湖景。住宅分别由 A、B 2栋楼、252套精品公寓组成，总共19层。小区的公共设施十分惊艳，设有露天影院、无边泳池、温泉池、室内及室外健身中心、私人会所及空中花园。Edgeblack 的设计团队是屡次获奖的 Turner Studio， 建筑商则是有25年经验的 Westbourne， 质量安心有保障。非常骄傲的是 Edgeblack 可能是 Norwest 近几年卖得最好的项目了，现在全盘仅剩下最后20套公寓，预购从速。需要做项目培训或看房，欢迎随时与我联系。拜拜，我们下次见。
The local environment is always the beginning point of a project for us. The strength of the local environment around this project presented us with that fantastic opportunity to deliver something truly special. These houses really belong to their context. They provide a special place to live. We were able to create houses that use the topography to their advantage to deliver very light, spacious, connected living spaces. The hues and tones of the interior design have deliberately been chosen to embrace the natural environment that exists outside the houses, to emphasise that feeling of belonging inside and outside. Anderson Creek Townhomes represented a unique opportunity to draw inspiration from the adjacent parklands and areas of real significant natural beauty, which we rarely get to do in such an urban context. As the site falls towards Mullen Creek Linear Park, it gave us an opportunity to create real individuality for the project. The master plan of the site has been designed to encourage permeability, to encourage people to walk down into Shafter Reserve, down to the creek and beyond. So we feel that we've generated an extremely strong identity for these townhomes, that the placemaking has been foremost in our thinking, and that there'll be a really strong connection from the residents when they return to their Anderson Creek townhome. The local environment is always the beginning point of a project for us. The strength of the local environment around this project presented us with that fantastic opportunity to deliver something truly special. So we feel that we've generated an extremely strong identity, and that there'll be a really strong connection from the residents to their Anderson Creek townhome.
Hi, Evan Cathcart here from Blue Earth Group. Now we're incredibly excited to introduce to you this amazing new project, Anthem Essendon. Anthem offers incredible value with one-bedroom apartments priced from $439,000, amazing two-bedroom apartments priced from $575,000, and a great range of three-bedroom apartments priced from $975,000. Now here at Anthem Essendon, we've got an incredible range of residence facilities under the banner of high performance living. So from a health and wellbeing perspective, we've got a phenomenal gym that's decked out by Techno Gym, yoga studio, a health and wellness zone with sauna and spa and steam room as well. And then from an entertainment perspective, a beautiful private dining room that's like your private dining room in your favourite restaurant here in Melbourne. We've got a games room that's amazing with billiards, table tennis and arcade games, a golf simulator as well. We've also worked really hard to make life easy for residents at Anthem Essendon. So a whole range of residence facilities and services that are modelled off five-star hotel living. A concierge from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. We've got the delivery locker systems, click and collect, so you can have your groceries delivered online and they're still cold when you get home of an evening. We've got a car wash and even a dog wash downstairs in the basement as well. So the idea is to have everything you would want in a five-star resort all here at Anthem Essendon. Now at Blue Earth Group, we've been having a real look at the way people will be living their lives in 5 and 10 years' time from now, and really designing buildings for then. So we've got keyless front door entries as you move into your apartment. We've got electric car charging provisions for every single apartment within the development as well. So in the future, when everyone's driving electric cars, they're catered for here at Anthem Essendon. We've also got a building app which really streamlines the management of the building and really acts to keep the owner's corporation fees really reasonable as well. Now the apartments here at Anthem Essendon are of beautiful proportions, with one-bedroom apartments sized between 50 and 60 square metres. The two-bedroom apartments are between 70 and about 90 square metres internally, and the three-bedroom apartments are 100 to about 170 square metres inside. Now the interior designer has done a fantastic job here with a beautiful colour palette and a beautiful use of natural materiality. All apartments, including the one and the two-bedroom apartments, get these beautiful big kitchens with large island benches. We've got fantastic storage throughout and soft closed drawers throughout all apartments as well. We also have a great range of beautiful custom joinery items throughout many of the apartments, with beautiful joinery throughout the living areas and custom bar areas with marble bench tops as well. Bedrooms within the apartments are all of a really nice proportion as well, with a fantastic amount of storage, and we've got fantastic bathrooms within the development as well. Now, early interest in this fantastic project has been very strong, particularly from the local market, with a really good response. People are saying this is the best project they've seen in the market, the best apartments to be delivered in the Essendon market, and the first project to deliver fantastic quality residence facilities. Now, in terms of the facilities, there's obviously definite benefits for owner-occupiers who get access to this fantastic range of lifestyle amenity within the development. There's also upside for investors who are expected to attract really good quality tenants at premium rents based on these fantastic facilities. The team at Blue Earth Group acquired the site 6 years ago at a fantastic price. Based on that, the team are able to deliver this fantastic project with the best apartments we've seen in Essendon, with this whole range of residence facilities at fantastic price points, and that will never happen again in the market.
We're down at the Aspen project in Tuggeranong. It's a very wet day down here. We're standing on level 6 formwork deck, but we're still getting things done. So to get to where we are today, we're in the typical structure cycles, which allows us to formwork reo concrete pours regularly on a regular basis, which allows us to plan a fair bit in advance. Other than the weather, we can hold our dates, which gets us to the top. The weather's been very challenging. We do plan a fair bit in advance and have some contingencies around the weather. Although it is a challenge, we have some very good trades on site that can work around those challenges. The next 3 months, particularly leading up to Christmas, we're looking on stage 1, building D of the project, up to level 10, which starts the external landscaping works up on the roof, which is the pool, the sauna, all the rich amenity that's up on top. We want to have that started before Christmas, which is a good milestone. So we're standing on the level 2 formwork deck, looking at pouring this by the end of the week, which puts us into the typical slabs on this side of the tower, pushing up to level 10. We've got good subbies down here. We've got about 150 guys on site. They're all happy at the moment, considering we're in the middle of winter. We poured the transfer slabs on the building D, which is the critical path transfers, and then we're pushing out into stage 2 transfers as well, looking to have those completed in the next 6 weeks. So spring's looking like topping out the building D, get to the top of the structure and have fit out about halfway up the tower.
Today was a big day for us. We had 2 pumps set up, 4 trucks providing concrete to those pumps at any one time. We're going to average about just over 1,000 square metre pours from now on. As you can see, we also stood our crane, which is a major achievement. That lets us facilitate the work for others. Moving forward, we're looking at, obviously, we'll start going up now, and it's all form reo pour from this point onwards. There's a lot of planning from our side of things. We're having weekly meetings with the team just to make sure we meet all the quality standards and make sure that the safety is up to scratch and get every detail on the job right. Today was a big day for us. We had 2 pumps set up, 4 trucks providing concrete to those pumps at any one time. We're going to average about just over 1,000 square metre pours from now on. As you can see, we also stood our crane, which is a major achievement. That lets us facilitate the work for others. Moving forward, we're looking at, obviously, we'll start going up now, and it's all form Rio pour from this point onwards. There's a lot of planning from our side of things. We're having weekly meetings with the team just to make sure we meet all the quality standards and make sure that the safety is up to scratch and get every detail on the job right. We've been busy in the past 12 weeks, as you can see behind me. We've managed to drill and pour all of our board piers. There's 171 of those. We've obviously dug quite a way down. We're at the bottom of the hole now with bulk excavation, getting ready to bring in structural trades and build up. They've moved out 55,000 cubes and they've got another 30,000 to go. I'm quite excited about what's happening next because we're going to start building up. We'll start doing footings and we'll start seeing all of the structural trades, which pretty much means that we're going to get a lot more momentum site. We're hoping that in the next couple of weeks we'll start seeing footings and just early stuff. We're hoping for a slab on ground before Christmas.
All the guys behind us are forming up the feats and the slab levels. From there we'll start going on to precast into fit outs. My first crane TC2 went up about 2 months ago until TC1 went up just over 2 weeks ago. Because it's such a long site, having the second tower crane up just lets us get better access from both sides of the job. Everything's on track to program, if not in front.
Benoa is a centrally located suburb, part of the prestigious Royal Pines residential precinct. It offers a wide range of infrastructure and lifestyle amenities in the form of golf courses, shopping centres, sporting venues, botanic gardens, medical facilities and education options. Marina Concourse, a boutique collection of residential apartments, overlooks the Royal Pines Marina, PGA Championship Golf Course and the Nerang River. The beaches of the Gold Coast are an easy drive from Benoa, as are major shopping, dining and entertainment hubs. Benoa offers easy access to major arterial roads, train network and the N1 Pacific Highway. Regular trains from Nerang Station connect residents and visitors to Brisbane CBD and Brisbane Airport. The M1 connects south into northern New South Wales and north to Brisbane. Across the suburbs of Benoa, Ashmore and Carrara, there are infrastructure projects totalling approximately $332 million, which are under construction, in the planning stages or have been completed within the last 4 years. These projects are across the sectors of transport, health, education, sport, retirement and retail. An additional $195 million was invested in Carrara in the lead-up to the 2018 Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. This included upgrades to Metricon Stadium, home of Gold Coast Suns AFL team, and Carrara Indoor Sports Stadium, along with construction of the Gold Coast Sports and Leisure Centre. These are legacy projects which allow the Gold Coast to compete for national and international sporting events. The Coastal Fringe Precinct is set to gain more than 50,000 jobs over 25 years, with employment across the precinct forecast to grow by 59% or 2.1% per annum. The Benoa Ashmore catchment is projected to house an additional 270 residents each year over the next 25 years. A large proportion of residents in 2041 will be aged over 55 years. As residents look for retirement options, low-maintenance apartment living will become more attractive. At the last census, only 6.4% of the catchment population were living in apartments. The increasing population and limited number of apartment options will increase pressure on the current supply. New apartment supply across the Coastal Fringe Precinct is declining. Of the 5 Gold Coast precincts, Coastal Fringe recorded the lowest level of supply after the North Shore Precinct at the end of December 2018. Across the precinct, the level of new apartment supply has fallen. Of this supply, only 90 apartments are in the suburb of Benoa, with limited opportunity for future apartment projects. Over the last 12 months, only 2 new apartment projects have been launched across the Coastal Fringe Precinct. These contain 82 apartments. 72 new apartment projects across the Gold Coast were identified in December 2018. Only 7, 10%, were located within the Coastal Fringe Precinct, and only 2 located in Benoa, highlighting the suburb's limited supply. The Benoa General Unit Market, which includes all settled sales, has shown strong growth over short and long term, with figures above the Coastal Fringe Precinct and the wider Gold Coast LGA. During the 12 months September 2018, the median unit price in Benoa grew 14.3%. There are limited new and near-new apartments available for rent in the Benoa Ashmore catchment. Given the low level of available new apartments, it is likely there will be pressure on current supply available to rent. The Residential Tenancies Authority, RTA, provides median weekly rental data on recently rented dwellings, incorporating both established and new product. When these median rents are compared to new and near-new apartments, there is a clear premium for new product in the Benoa Ashmore catchment. New and near-new 2-bedroom apartments are attracting premiums of between $108 and $208 per week, while 3-bedroom apartments are attracting premiums of between $208 and $438 per week. These premiums highlight low level of available apartments to rent on a permanent basis, and the value tenants see in newly living options over established product. Over the past 5 years, median weekly rents across the Gold Coast central area have grown at a strong rate. 2-bedroom apartments recorded 4.1% per annum, while 3-bedroom apartments achieved 5.7% per annum. Established on the Gold Coast in 1983, Sunland is a leading national property developer with more than 3 decades' experience delivering award-winning design-driven communities along Australia's eastern seaboard. Throughout Sunland's 35-year history, our desire to contribute to the creation of vibrant communities has set us on a path of learning as we explore how architectural excellence, beauty and human values can define, shape and engage the urban fabric of community life and contribute towards betterment for all. A pioneering spirit redefining the experience of home. Sunland has delivered some of Australia's most renowned architectural landmarks and an impressive portfolio of vibrant, design-driven residential communities. Among Sunland's most iconic developments is Palazzo Versace, the world's first fashion-branded hotel. Sunland also designed and delivered Q1, a celebrated Gold Coast landmark and the world's tallest residential tower from 2005 to 2011. Each year, accolades and awards honour the group's contribution to the Australian design landscape, advanced the commitment to architectural excellence and betterment. At the heart of Sunland's enduring commitment to creating architecture as art is its vision to build vibrant communities and in turn shape a sustainable future for clients, shareholders and people. Together, Sunland's design philosophy and their values work hand in hand to engage, transform and define the experience of community for future generations. Sunland's principal activities comprise property development and construction, which it undertakes across its core business segments of urban development, residential housing and multi-storey developments along the east coast of Australia.
Hi, it's Evan Cathcart here from Blue Earth Group. Now, since the federal government announced the home builder bonus a couple of weeks ago, there's been quite a bit of uncertainty as to how the bonus will apply and who it will apply to. There is some information on the government websites as to the criteria that clients will need to meet in order to be eligible for the bonus, and it's quite restrictive from an income perspective. One of the other elements is the timing around the commencement of construction. So we've done some digging and established that properties that are already under construction, the bonus won't apply to, and properties where construction commences within 3 months of the contract of sale, the bonus will apply to. So while we've got a number of projects in the market and coming to the market where the bonus will apply, we've been really proactive, and we've just had approved that across our Martin and Powlett project and our Georges Fitzroy North project, that Blue Earth will be offering a Blue Earth hire bonus of $25,000 that will apply to all purchases within those projects. So completely unrestricted, no uncertainty whatsoever, and we think that's a fantastic thing in order to give clients buying in these projects real certainty around a great incentive. So as further information comes to hand on the government-led bonus, which will be coming out hopefully through the state governments over the next sort of few weeks, we'll bring that information to you. But in the meantime, we've got this fantastic Blue Earth home builder bonus that will apply to Martin and Powlett Heidelberg and Georges Fitzroy North, which does give clients real certainty buying in these projects. Hi, Evan Cathcart here from Branson Group. Now at Branson, we're continually striving to raise the bar across all of our projects, making each project better time and time again. We have a particular focus on sustainability and quality delivery within the business. And from a sustainability perspective, we've got a whole range of features that are designed into all of our projects that make for environmentally conscious living. Some of these features include a 6-star energy rating across our projects. We have water collection and reuse. We have really smart design with cross-flow ventilation, which makes for great living as well. Permeable paving. We've also got edible veggie gardens within our developments as well. We also have a real focus on creating beautiful landscape gardens across all developments, and we've actually just seen some fantastic resales across our past projects with these sales achieving record prices at auction in the market. And I think these great results can be attributed to these fantastic features we're talking about and the beautiful established landscaping that within these developments. Quality delivery is also a real focus within Branson Group, working really hard to deliver every single project to the highest of standards. All of our projects come with a 7-year builder's warranty insurance. Our appliances offer up to a 5-year warranty as well, and we use no combustible cladding within any of our developments either. So that's just a quick overview on some of the features within our developments and our commitment to delivering excellent quality projects every single time. And I think our clients can take great confidence from that.
I'm Brian Yang, I'm a partner and an architect.
And I'm João Albuquerque, associate and here at BIG and also an architect.
We are so excited to see you in Melbourne for the symposium at the end of July.
Looking forward to see you soon.
Kick your property goals with Nishing's 5 guarantees.
Build with confidence with guaranteed built times, guaranteed quality, guaranteed fixed price, guaranteed all-inclusive and guaranteed best value.
Visit nicheliving.com.au.
Our cities have a problem. Despite craving it, we're struggling for green space, and architects and engineers have had to get creative, repurposing old infrastructure and slotting parks in where they can. It's a pressure that's given rise to this, one of the most ambitious skyscrapers ever conceived. Twisting into the sky, Melbourne's tree-covered South Bank by Beulah Tower is born out of that very real desire for a better connection to nature in our built-up areas. Making Australia's new tallest building a reality is far from easy. And the team is dealing with extreme height, tough site conditions, remote working, international media attention, and the small matter of successfully growing plants in the sky. This is the complex, inspiring and record-breaking story of how the world's first ever super tall vertical garden is being built.
Melbourne's skyline could be transformed by a new state-of-the-art building. 6 proposals have been shortlisted after a call went out for ideas from around the world.
Cast your mind back to 2018 and you might recall an architecture competition in Australia that caused quite a stir. Australian developer Beulah had acquired a site in the heart of Melbourne's South Bank and wanted to create a building with a difference, something that stood out among the sea of skyscrapers that had already emerged.
So in order to bring our ambitious vision to life, we launched an international architecture competition 3 years ago, inviting some of the world's most innovative architects. It really is unlike anything Australia has ever seen.
Pairing local firms with 6 of the world's most famous architects, the competition produced some of the boldest proposals Australia had ever seen and made international headlines. After an intense debate among the judges and the internet, Green Spine won the contest. Designed by UN Studio and Cox Architecture, the mixed-use towers would feature dramatic planting across their levels and become the tallest skyscrapers in the country.
I think what sets the Green Spine apart from the others is mainly the ability to connect people with nature throughout biophilic architecture. And the interface between the public street level and the podium were the key standouts. And that was one of the key considerations during the judging process.
The design team travelled the world to learn lessons from similar projects, steadily developing their plans to integrate commercial space, apartments, a podium that includes retail units and a new cultural square into 165 stories of green space across the 2 towers. The renamed South Bank by Beulah Tower will become the first vertical garden to exceed 300 metres and reach super tall status. Now, building a pair of twisting skyscrapers and covering them in plants was never going to be easy, but combine the challenge of getting those plants to thrive at such a height with the project's slender profile and the fact that it's being built in an area that used to be marshland, and you have a pretty major feat of engineering on your hands.
The ground conditions at the site of this project are very challenging. We're talking around 20 metres plus of excavation into the Coot Island silt material. The way we overcame the challenge was to design what we call diaphragm walls. So these walls are essentially extremely thick concrete walls. They're 1200 to 1500 millimetres thick. And then there's also an extremely thick slab at the base level, which is in the order of 2 metres of thick of concrete. We looked at 2 different options for the basement design. One of those was what we call a bottom-up or anchored design. The other option we looked at was a town construction methodology. You have to plunge down all of your columns and wall elements from the ground floor, and then you pour the ground slab. You then excavate material beneath. You have to leave some large temporary openings in the slab to actually get the material out. You then excavate down 2 levels, you do it again. So the slab that you build at each level you're excavating down actually restrains the perimeter walls.
The East Tower's slender height-to-width ratio of 13.5 to 1 presents some particularly onerous challenges. Its twisting form is being achieved by the use of walking columns. Now, normally columns line up between floors to carry loads through a building and down to the foundations. But here, each column will have to be slightly offset to the one on the floor immediately below, creating the building's twist while still maintaining a pathway for loads to travel through. If you think that sounds complicated, it's just the start.
We've got a central core running up throughout the height of the tower. We've got shear walls at all the residential floors, linking the central core to the perimeter columns. Then at every plant floor, we've got a series of, we've got a belt wall around the perimeter and additional outrigger walls in the strong direction. And the way I think about it is like if you're going skiing, your body, imagine that as the core, and your arms as like your outrigger walls or your shear walls. Your poles that you're supporting, they're your columns. You're engaging the full perimeter of the building. Touching on the damper, you know, in this particular instance, it's a tuned mass damper. That has also presented Beulah with the opportunity to create that into an art sculpture. You know, as engineers, you often think, oh yeah, they'll just add some pretty ugly looking piece of steel at the top. But this steel can actually be, or this mass can actually be quite a magnificent looking art piece.
Green spaces on buildings are nothing new, but the scale and ambition of South Bank by Beulah's design is pretty unprecedented. There'll be over 5.5 kilometres of vertical gardens and sky parks, extending as high as 365 metres above street level. An international team of landscape architects has run wind testing and sunlight analysis, all to choose species that can thrive in a city that's famous for its extreme summer, cold winters, and the occasional feeling of 4 different seasons in one day. To keep everything green without the need for an army of gardeners constantly working their way through the building, every garden bed will be connected to an autonomous irrigation system that's capable of monitoring soil conditions and delivering water and nutrients directly to the roots of each plant. The idea is the system should require pretty minimal human maintenance once complete. That's my kind of gardening. Bringing together a complex design between 2 architects, landscape specialists and several consultants on a challenging site would be tough in any circumstances, but thrown into the mix is the fact that much of the design evolution over the past 3 years has actually happened remotely, making things even tougher.
One of the components alone of the key challenges of being a super tall, slender tower, and then the twisting, another key challenge, but both of those combined together, you really can't solve that without a computational approach.